Hi and welcome to EDYS Expression initiative at home. Today's the art program and we're going to be working on some time-based art later. I just wanted to have a quick chat about time and art. Okay, first thing, a lot of people say, I'm not an artist. I don't draw, I can't draw. If you drew every day, eventually you would be able to draw or consider yourself someone that can draw. That's the difference. Many people can draw, they just don't consider themselves able to draw. And so they stop themselves. So don't do that. Don't let time slow you down. Okay, get in there and start drawing. They say that it takes 10,000 drawings to become a great artist. And it doesn't take very long to do 10,000 drawings if you really think about it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was art over time. So I want you to think about buildings. I want you to think about cities. I want you to think about all the things that were put into those and how over time, as they've aged and corroded and the limestones have disintegrated, it's created something beautiful. The finishes of copper, the finishes of stone are affected by time. And it's quite amazing what they can do. Another one I wanted to talk about was moss art, where you actually paint with moss and allow it to grow, so you'll never actually see what you've done until it's actually grown. I think you'll see from the examples here what I'm talking about is quite an interesting way of doing street art and beautifying your neighborhood without using paint. But let's get into making something, okay? Back to the garage. So today we're going to make a clock, okay? Now, I'm not asking you to figure out how clock mechanisms work. I'm not asking you to do the complex maths and the geometry that's involved to create a clock. What I'm asking you is to go down the shop and buy yourself one of these. You can get them from any sort of $2 store or, craft store. Shouldn't cost you more than $5 for a clock mechanism. If you don't have a store near you or somewhere where you can get them, I recommend you just buy a clock. You can buy one of these. We'll pop this apart in a second, and we're going to take the mechanism out of it and create our own clock. Two methods, okay? So, starting from scratch with a whole fresh one, we might paint a picture on this, and then attach our clock mechanism to reflect the time. And we'll take this one apart, so I'll show you how to dismantle one of these so you can get the mechanism out if you need it. Okay, cool. So let's start off by stripping this one back. So let's start off by dismantling this clock. So you'll see here that it has a series of screws that are holding the plastic cowl in place, that's or the plastic housing. So I'm just going to start off by unscrewing those. Cool. So now we have the fascia. Put that to one side. Now, pop that off. And that one. And that one. Okay, so that's obviously, it's like a hoop and pin, so that just snaps into position there, into the center one. There's the two outer ones, and now we should be free to release a mechanism. So there you go. So what I'm going to do, let's see what we've got here. So this has just been, you can see this has been quickly glued in place, just in here. I'm actually just going to replace this, I think. I'm just going to work on a new one of these. So I've got a template. I've got my mechanism I wanted to go in. We've got a clock. Okay, so we've taken the mechanism apart out of the existing clock. We've got mechanisms here if we do want to just use one, like we can buy from the store. What I've got here is I've actually got an old calendar. So this is from 2018, when my kids got this for me for Christmas, I believe. And I want to make this the cover to my clock. So I'm going to go through and pick one of these out of here. I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with some Superman Action Comics. So I'm fortunate I've got two choices, because I've either got this board that I can mount this to, so I can cut this to size and frame it, so that'll sit behind there quite nicely. Or I can find the bit that I want using the disc here, so I could remake the old clock. I'm just picking a section out of this that would be suitable. So I think I'm going to go with cutting a circle out, and we'll use the old clock. Nope, I'm going to go with putting it on a board. There we go. And I'll attach to that, and then I'll attach the clock to that. So I've selected the picture that I want. I'm going with this Superman picture, and I've got a board to attach it to. So I've just got to cut that to size, and I'll use that. Yeah, I'll use that as my template, and it should cut as quickly as. Perfect. There it is. Okay, cool. So how can I attach this? I have a number of choices in terms of adhesives. I've got some glue, it's like wood glue, PVA, school glue type stuff. You can just go with a blue Pritt stick. That's always good. Or you can use spray adhesive. Okay, spray adhesive is real quick, so I'm going to hit that real quick. Give me 1 second. Woo! Okay, so that's, and I'm going to glue that carefully in position. Make sure I get it out the corners. Excellent. Now, little tip. When gluing things and you want to keep them flat, take your time. It's going to take time to make things. And impatience is going to ruin it for you. So, let's get some cans of paint. I'm just going to sit them on the corners. Like that. Just any way it'll do. You don't have to use cans of paint. And what this is going to do is it's going to secure the whole thing down around and evenly. And we're going to leave that for an hour, I think, just to give that some time to dry. So it's been an hour. I'm going to pop these off. I'll pop the glue paint out of the way. So that's good and secure. Now I'm going to want to position my clock. So where do I want? I mean, here's where I've got some choices, right? I can either, and we can have a standard clock, right? And we can put it like bang in the middle there, you know, find it so that'll be like that. Or there's no reason why we can't put it over to the side. I suppose it all depends on the length of the arms. Now, these ones here, these are the purchased ones. These come with a few components when you put them together for you to put together. And where's the end? There it is. Okay, so you have a rubber backing, a washer and a nut. Okay, so my best guess is that this is going to go on the back of the board to stop the thing from spinning. Sure I got the right ones. You got the right one? Okay, so that's going to go on. I'm going to need to drill a hole in this as wide as this is. All right, as wide as that. I can go a little bit bigger, but I don't really want to. If I make it nice and tight, the hole fitted, then it shouldn't need to be secured any more than a little bit of either like glue or tape on there. Just hold that in position. Just 1 second. Okay, so I've got a cordless drill and some drill bits. So just looking at this, what I'll do is I'll just place this behind the screw, and if I can see it sticking out either side or the thread sticking out, I think that's pretty good. That's the width there. So I'm going to drill a hole into this, and then I'm going to screw this into the hole to help secure it. Okay, cool. So if you don't have a cordless drill and a drill bit at home, you can do it very carefully with a pair of scissors. If you puncture a small hole in, if you use this part of the blade, not the fatter part, but the thin part, and you just push it in a little bit, and then rotate, and then push it a little bit further, and then rotate. Be very careful though, because my scissors are very sharp. I'm assuming yours are too. And you just push it in, and you're just going to work that hole a bit bigger. It's not as clean, obviously, as using a drill bit, but it'll get you out of trouble. It'll get you a clock built. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go with a slightly off-center. Now you can see here, my clock hands are going to be quite big, aren't they? Like, so they probably does need to go central, actually, to tell you the truth. Let's go central with it. Okay, so we have a second hand, we have a minute hand, we have an hour hand, we've got a rubber stopper or rubber support, and a washer and a nut. Let's drill the hole and put it in place. I want to get this nice and even, so I'm actually going to go from corner to corner here. Let's put a slight pencil mark in the middle here, just very, very lightly. I can rub it out later if I don't like it. When I don't like it, I don't want to see it. Okay, so put that one across there, and then across there. Okay, that's the center right there. Everybody see that? Cool. So you saw how I did that? And just lightly penciled it, so I can just rub that out my finger a little bit. If I drill straight into this, I'm going to ruin my table, and you're going to ruin your mum and dad's table. So we don't want to do that. We want to get a block to, or something to screw into that isn't going to damage the tabletop. Placing my block, I've got a timber block here. Placing it under. Now when I drill through, it won't ruin my tabletop. And I'm going to go nice. Okay. Okay, so it's gone through nice and cleanly there. Now, you can see there's the drill mark from the thing. That would have been my nice, well, I say nice tabletop. It would have been my straight tabletop. Okay, so we put the clock in, and I feel like I'm gonna have to squeeze it a little bit to get it to fit. Nice. No, might be too small. Might have to go up a size. Okay, let's go up a size. So where are my dangerous screw bits? Here we are. Let's try 9.5. Let's see if that's any better. Okay, and my chalk. Again, one more time. Okay. Okay, so now we have the hole. I want to get my mechanism in there. Cool. Okay, so that's screwing us. That's nice and snug now. Of course, I'm actually using the thread. You can see it there, the thread that's on the mechanism, to be the thing that drives it through the paper and the back. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Okay, so you see how that's really snug. That's really, really secure because I made that hole just big enough. Now, we'll go with the rubber mount. Okay, just to keep it safe. So, okay, so let's hold that mechanism down. So now, we want to secure that mechanism so it doesn't come off at all. That's where your little nut and washer come in handy, and it has a nice little brass finish. Finger tight is enough for this, I think. Doesn't have to be. You see, so we have it central. Finger tight's enough just to hold that position. I mean, that's not coming off. That's not going anywhere. Okay, and now we just put in our mechanism, our hands, our arms, our whatevers you want to call them. Cool. So the big one goes at the back. It's got the bigger hole. And that just quite simply sits like that. I'll put this one in the same spot. That. And then finally, our second hand, which I don't think should be bent like that. So I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit. Cool. And I'm going to pop that up here. Now, drive that into there. Okay. Let's see if it works. I've got a battery here. I don't know if the battery works though. Hang on. Let's see what happens. Make sure I'm putting the battery in the right way. And there you have it. See, my little hand is spinning around. Time. Okay, so then I can adjust that to the right time. There you go. That's how you put a mechanism into a clock. You can decorate that however you want, like we said. Just to reiterate, you can take an existing clock that you bought for $5, you can pull the mechanism out, unscrew it, take it apart, put whatever you want back in there. You could spray paint that, many options. We can make art out of time, and it takes time to make art. Thanks for watching EDYS Expression Initiative at home. Remember, we are going to be opening the doors again at some point, so we'd love to see you come down to EDYS and do some art with us. Show us the stuff you've done. We've got heaps of resources. Come and have a play. All right, cool. Remember, watch out for each other and wash your hands. Hi guys, thanks for watching the video. Can you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification, everything you need to do, you know what you need to do. Can you do it please? That'd be great. Alright, cool. See you in the next one guys. Take care.